Hello and welcome back to Planting of the Geeks. You join us for an unboxing video of Core Space, the sci-fi miniatures game. Now this came out last year. This has just turned up this second. And it's because I saw on Kickstarter that the second edition of this, or the second version, the expansion, a standalone expansion, whatever you want to call it, has come on Kickstarter. And I was curious last year when I saw it, and having had some of the battle system stuff before and not being impressed, I sort of said no, I'll wait and see how it pans out. Well, it's been quite popular and people like it. So I thought, you know what, we'll get the box game, we'll see what it's like before jumping in and getting everything else.
Yes.
I mean, well, see if it's alright before jumping in and getting everything else. There's a Freudian slip there.
Yes, there was, wasn't there?
There we go. So this is the core game, and this is the first version. This is the one that came out in 2019, I think.
Okay.
It's actually fairly heavy. It's not Gloomhaven heavy, but it's fairly heavy. So this is the back of the box. But let's take the cellophane off.
At least you've got more nails than I have.
Yeah, it's quite easy. It's one reason I'm waiting for other things. So there's the back of the box. So you can see you get some models in there. I'm not sure, a lot like plastic. I think some of the add-ons are resin, but these ones look like plastic. Obviously we've got this cardboard scenery and we've got these boards. So let's have a look. Now there is an unboxing video on the Battle Systems website. It's by them, so it's quite thorough, to be fair. And I'm hoping I can. There we go. So this is the neoprene map. I love maps.
Very nice.
And that was a nice one actually.
It's very nice.
It was the one thing I didn't have a problem with from the Red Rocket set was the map. And this is really nice as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that. That's cool. So this is a 2x2 foot mat. This is the playing area for the starter set. You can just get more mats and lay them next to each other and make it bigger, depending on how many players you've got, because it's from 1 to 6 players. But this is like for a 1 or 2 player game apparently. So this should do nicely. Plus you get different mats for different sets, I think, because you can just buy the scenery on their own with mats.
Alright, okay.
Having had a very quick peruse of the website last night, because I did only order this yesterday.
Yeah.
That was very quick. Okay, so we have these 4 pieces of cardboard, which again we'll come to at the end, but this basically makes a lattice by all accounts. And this is how you store things back into the game box at the end. Again, they do have a instructional video on the website.
Don't look on.
There's one that way around and that way around, because I think that's right. That square bit there, this colour has to be at the opposite end of that square bit there, allegedly. I think these are the wrong way around. Yeah, that needs to go the other way around. Claire's looking at me really puzzled, like, what difference does it make?
No, I'm just kind of like thinking, what are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing? Right, so basically you have this cutter there, cutter there, cutter there, and cutter there, and the ruler, the game ruler, will sit across that cutout. That's what that's for.
Okay.
Okay, so we have some components. I'll just pass that over there for a second, and we have the models. We have the basic rulebook, which is there. And we have a bunch of cardstock, which is the weighty part. I think that's quite heavy compared to the rest of it. It's the weighty part of the box. Where to start? Shall we see what's in this little tray?
In the tray, yeah.
In the tray. So we'll take off these bits of sellotape. unsuccessful. Be with you in a moment. There we go. This apparently is the threat meter.
Okay.
These are the character boards.
Nice.
We have a bunch of like pegs. Oh, I was going to call them chits for some reason. Definitely pegs. There are 4 varieties of peg. There are some plastic bags. We have ourselves some dice. We have some cards. We have these little plastic clips. Now these are the things I have problems with from the Red Rocket set. However, these are different because these aren't just flat. You'll notice there's a groove on them. I think they've been reinforced to stop them from snapping. Those snap.
They did.
In several places. These are to use if you don't paint your models, so you can put one on each crew.
Oh, okay.
So you know whose model
Who's
is which. And apparently that is for the tokens to go in at the end of the game as well.
Those things.
Yeah. So that's not a dice bag, it's a token bag.
All those are to go in there.
Apparently they do. Apparently. This is what this is. This is an independent review of what they showed. What I watched last night. So far, everything's going well. Right, so we have all this MacGuffin. We have some event cards, so we'll take them out. We'll figure out what size these are. Maybe get them some protector on them. But they feel very nice.
Oh yeah, they've got the like.
I don't want to have spoilers on this thing, so let's just going to do that.
Yeah, they're kind of like got a bit of like wax on them, haven't they? You know, like.
Yeah, it's that textured.
Textured.
Yeah, slightly textured feel to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what's in that box.
So, do you think one of them's for those cards? Or do you think that's just for the cards?
I think the cards go separate.
Cards go separate.
Okay. Let's look at the miniatures. This is where I am, really on it. Miniatures. Okay, so let's pull this out. So, there's big spaces there because there's expansions for this. And the idea is you can fit all the expansions into the same box.
That's
So
clever.
this is for other miniatures. Just like there should be enough room for more cards and everything else from the expansions. So these are the models. I think these are called the Purge, actually. So look at that. That is way smaller than I thought, actually. So this feels like a FFG Star Wars Legion type plastic.
Yeah.
Pre-assembled. Thankfully, I'm not trying to build them like Trade Federation droids. Yeah, really thin.
Yeah,
Skeletal, sort of creepy.
they're like Ultron wannabes.
Quite well detailed, actually. Huh?
They're like Ultron wannabes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Ultron if he was on an ultra diet.
Yeah.
So those are the baddies.
Oh, sorry. I'm putting them out.
Let's pull them all out. Pull the baddies out.
Oh, he's got multiple arms.
This guy's another baddie with multiple arms. More of an Iron Man stance.
It is, isn't it? That dude just looks like the Iron Giant.
It's a mini Iron Giant. That's another one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, don't quote me, I think these might be called Devastators.
Oh, right.
I think he might be called a living one, I'm not sure.
Alright, he's just like, look at my hoodie, don't I look cool?
He's like, talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand, I've got a hoodie on. None of you have got a hoodie on.
But yeah, they're actually quite nice. Detail-wise, right, these guys are I think the civilians or NPCs, because they're in blue.
Okay.
I mean, I do endeavour to paint some of these.
Looks like she's dancing.
She probably is.
I don't know.
And then these are the two crews. Not sure whether they're in crew formation. I'm not sure who they are yet. We shall find out as we go along. But we have running man.
Running man with lunchbox.
Running man with lunchbox. We have
Dude with
guy
gun.
hiding around corner waiting to shoot. I do quite like these stuff, to be honest. We have I got a description of him.
Gun-totting dude.
Gun-totting dude. Sort of reminds me of Mal.
Yes. We have another dude hiding around the corner.
We have Jane. Alright, okay. And then we have this guy who's definitely not human, and I really like all of a sudden.
Okay.
He's not human. I like him. No, he's not human. He looks like he's got 3 arms? 4 arms. He's definitely got 4 arms. Yeah.
Well, you just never know when you might need those 4 arms.
Got this guy telling people to chill when he's got a gun behind his back. Like that. We have...
Looks like he's in a straitjacket.
Is he a doctor or is he an escaped mental patient? We'll find out. And then we have this girl.
This girl.
Yeah.
Token girl.
I think of the kind of stance that she's doing. What do you think?
That's kind of like me when I skid on something
It
and then
is.
try and do the splits.
I was thinking Charlie's Angels for silhouetted.
Yeah?
She's doing one of those.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Right. Yep, so that's good. We have the rule book. A nice cool picture of them. Models all painted though. So we have a summary of what everything is. Obviously we need to read this because I have no idea yet. So yeah, so we have, oh there we go.
Oh my god, you've got names.
So there was Jace, Lars, Renton and Beck. That's the crew of the Black Maria.
Okay.
Then we have the Harvesters, Devastators, an Assassin and a live one. Then we have the crew of the Iron Hope, which is Ariana, Roykirk, Gak and Tagardi. Is that Tagad?
Togard, yeah.
Tagad. Yep. So,
You've got civilians.
civilians. Clip bases, turn counters. Nothing, it doesn't give you a dry white marker.
Oh, that's a bit much.
I know.
I was expecting one.
Where is it? Where is it? Let's have a look. So this is all the terrain once it's built, which is what we'll be doing in a minute. Crew dashboards. Line of sight. It's all the rules, really. Key concepts like line of sight, going over basics of what is in this game. Setting up a game. We got order of play, trader phase, because you're playing traders, that's why it's called trader phase. And armor, close combat, ranged assault, knockback. So these must be all the skills, class weapons. And then the purge phase, that's what
They do.
the tan coloured dudes are. Actions. NPC. Civilians. Joining crews. And then we have missions.
Set things up, I assume.
Yep. So that'll be how you set each individual mission up. What to use. Selecting a crew. Campaigns. Because apparently there's a 10 mission campaign in this as well.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh,
a bit like Zombicide then, because Zombicide has a small campaign.
Yeah, like, a bit like that, yeah. And trading posts. You do trading between games, a bit like Necromunda in that respect. Hiring crew. Whee. Come on. So all the campaign stuff. And this is the Perseus Arm campaign here.
Okay.
So I'll just skip through.
That's a cool colour scheme.
So, that guy.
It's like almost dark Iron Man.
I do like that. And this is a bit of background about the two crews by the looks of it.
Oh, right. So that gives us an idea on the colour scheme for
Yeah.
them, perhaps, a
And
little
which
bit.
one you're going to pick, which one I'm going to pick as well, 'cause I don't know at this point. It's got some fluff, basically. I think these are also used. You can basically make your characters how you want, but if you just want a quick start game, this is what it suggests you take.
Right, okay. Probably until you get to know
Yeah.
what each one is and stuff.
And then we have all the skills. I think that is it for the starter set rulebook.
Okay.
There's a deluxe rulebook, which has all these in and also has a lot of other rules as well, like advanced rules and how to create your own characters and everything in it.
Okay.
Does sound interesting. It'll probably be the next thing I get if
If
we like it. Yep. So, yeah.
Okay.
So that is the rulebook. So now onto the actual card stock. It's one of the main reasons people buy the game is because all the scenery is included. I would have thought.
Probable.
That was my temptation.
Yeah.
I don't have to sit here and paint a bunch of scenery to play the game.
Yeah. That's always good though. I mean, it's a bit like Infinity.
Yeah, the Infinity Starters, which give you like all the cards around.
And that's not bad. The Infinity stuff, to be
No, it's
quite
good.
honest.
It's
I think
definitely
quite...
serviceable terrain.
Yeah.
It looks nice as well. It's there's no reason to go away and you have to upgrade it.
I thought you did try doing that. Games Workshop with these starter set they had. You know, the smaller starter sets where you could turn over the box and it was like.
Ultimately, it's a box.
Ultimately, it's a box. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It's an interesting idea. It gives you something to. If you've never played the game before.
And if you're on holiday and you pick buy the starter set, the first starter set, it's handy to play in the hotel room kind of
See,
thing.
I kind of like the idea, but I think they could have tried a little bit harder.
Oh, definitely.
And I
It
hate.
was like a half-arsed.
I absolutely hate paper maps.
Yes. Yeah, because of when you fold it, you get those fold
So you
lines
take it out
there.
of the box, and immediately it peaks up, and it's got a line down it where it's been folded. So it's the colour's gone off, and you're like, and the more times you try and unfold it or anything.
It's not like you can exactly iron it.
Well, you can iron it, but then you're just left with a big flat piece that you can't fold again, because if you fold it, it'll just crack, and you got like one use out of it, and you're like, oh, that's great. I do not like paper for some reason. I love neoprene, but not paper.
These look nice. These look quite
These are nice and shiny. These are nice
yeah.
and laminates. These are the counters.
Right, okay.
These are very shiny.
Oh, those are really nice. I'm impressed.
I am impressed with this, actually. I wasn't expecting them to be shiny.
Actually, even the cardboard, it's very thin, but you can see it's got, like you say, laminate on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite impressive.
I
That.
think this bad boy is the threat meter. I don't know which way this will go. These just seem to punch out, which is good. Well, there's a little bit of tear in there, but it's not on the side of the thing, it's on the side of, if you see that, a little bit of tearing, but it's not the actual thing, it's off this bit. But I don't want to just tear that, I want to trim that. Ideally I would use scissors. Because I don't want to risk sort of like this starting to tear something, because they are nice. I believe, I don't want to put this in the wrong way, but who knows. I believe this will go in here one way around or the other. I'm not going to shove it in until I know which way. Probably the other way, because I always pick the wrong way. There we go.
Some of these are quite hard to get out actually.
Yeah, don't force them.
No, there's a few that I'm going to just...
In fact, what I might do is push them through from this side. Yes, that works better. Push them through from the flat side as opposed to the raised side. Yeah.
I'm be really careful with these because some of them,
yeah,
I think it's because of the laminate bit on.
Yeah. It sort of starts to tear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you're taking those off, if you've got some yourself and you're not taking them off, don't rush it. But yeah, those are like the civilian cards. I don't know why you're meant to punch this bit out or not, or whether it's for something or you're meant to keep it, so I'm not going to punch them out just yet. Alright, so those are all the tokens. We should do the rest of those off camera. These are the scenery. These are not laminate, these are matte. I suppose the laminate tokens really stand out against the matte surface of the scenery, and so we have a bunch of stuff there. We have another one there, identical. These are the walls and such like. These are some more scenery. I don't know where to start. So these are just walls. Let's push this bad boy out. That one doesn't tear as much. Again, it's probably the laminate that's doing it. Now this is a window. Yeah. This bit here is a window. And that isn't... Normally when you see like cuts like this, you push these beside and throw them away because there's nothing to do with it. But we have on this one a door as well. What you're meant to do is you are meant to push these out, but you need to keep these parts. So you can have a door open or closed, you can put it back in basically. A window shattered or not shattered, etc.
Oh, okay.
What we can do is we can just like stack them, take them out for now because they do need to come out, and just keep hold of these parts. You know, often you get punch board and the stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's just bin. You just throw it in the bin because it's nothing to do with anything. So don't make that mistake. Because when I first saw these, I thought, oh, those bits, just punch them out. And then when I watched the video of them doing it, he was like, yeah, these are windows, these are doors. And that's what you do with them. It's simple solution. But yeah, so these just come out. There's another window there. Don't force it, just push it. So the cardstock feels about the same as the Red Rocket, but you're not trying to bend this into silly shapes. So that's another thing. These are just walls and connectors, so they're not, the connectors aren't being forced, and if they are, they're reinforced compared to the ones. So yeah, so that comes out, and then we're going to put it back in. It should just go back in. Oh, voila. So let's do the rest of those off camera because they are all the same. You also get these little struts. The struts do have little punch out bits that you do want to get rid of. Those bits there, they all come off. And these tiny little bits, yeah, they're just MacGuffin that you can get rid of. In fact, I might want something to push that out with. Where did my tweezers go? There we go. There we go. So there you go, so you end up with a strut. And then what you do with these struts and everything is that when they're on the board, I'll do the right way up, you have all these little cutouts. The Red Rocket had that. But these will just like sit in there and like give it a bit of 3Dness as opposed to just a flat wall. So they are just like fancy. We also have a bunch of signs. So I'll push that one out, for instance. So I believe this is looks very much like a toilet sign. So there's the ladies with women and two-headed men only for this toilet. There's a little bit of paper left in there. Probably pull it out with some tweezers. And again, a sign would just sit in one of those little sockets, just to add a little bit of like flavour to your boards. The only one from the video that doesn't sit in like that or have something that it sits into is one they threw on for a laugh at the last minute. It's something to do with as I'm not in on the jokes, but they've got this little dog, something called Chug, which is this one. So this sign here is actually one you just blue tack on something, onto a wall on some girders.
Oh, okay.
Apparently their post-apocalyptic range is a dog called Chug.
Fair enough.
And that's like an advert, which is like a in-joke.
Okay.
But it looks quite cool though, as an advert. That does like an advert you'd see in some futuristic dystopian sci-fi. There's also some of these ones here, like this junk stop fast Asian food. This one does the opposite because it sits up and it'll go in one of the available gaps underneath and it will sit up. Maybe not that one. I wonder if there's like a different one. Yeah, probably that one. Yeah, like that. So that'll sit up. That's just like another little bit of MacGuffin to make it look unique. So we'll do all the walls again off camera because it's just repeating what I just showed you. Take all the single piece signs off and we'll do that now, and then all we've got left is like the 3D scenery to sort of put together, and we'll come back and do that. So we've got all the wall sections off, girders and everything. Now it's just the like 3D scenery, if you will, tables, chairs, such like. So this is the walls and girders sheet left. So I'm going to start with this because it's most logical and I can get rid of the sheet. So we're going to start with doing the workstation and the chair. So I'm just going to flush out the workstation parts. There we go. And the chair as well. So there'll be two of each of these. So we've got the chair piece there, and then from the other sections we have these as well. So the workstation also consists of this panel, the chair also consists of this bottom piece, and then the chair also consists of this backrest. That's just not the backrest, that's the backrest. So the chair is literally three parts. That bit will slot into there. That. Give it a little bit of a push, make sure it's right in. And then this bit will slot in underneath. Like that. that makes HR. It's a bit wonky. So what you can do is actually, in the video, you can actually use some clippers on that just to extend the depth of the slit. If you're not happy with the chair as well, you will want to come out now. We can do the same though. And on some of this, even though you don't need to apparently, you did glue it. Because you never need to take these parts, never need to take these apart again. Because they'll all fit back in the box, I'm told. Assembled. So let's see if that fits a little bit better. I'm going to do this real time so you can see how much time it takes. Do do do, diddle diddle diddle. I'm stupid to put my glue away as well. Right. So you could use super glue actually on this if you're quick, or you can use PVA glue if you don't want to. There we go. So that's a much better fit. Just took a few snips with the clippers, nippers, whatever you want to call them, and so is that. That's a much better fit now as well. Just literally a few millimeters makes all the difference between it standing up properly and rocking around the place and not looking right. So what they recommend on the video is you can stick those together. That one actually doesn't need sticking together, it's quite tough. But another thing they recommend is using felt tips on the edges to cool them. I will probably use paint on these, to be fair, to cool the edges, if I cool the edges at all. But you can use felt tips. Right, so that's one chair done. Next we'll do the workstation. So the workstation consists of this piece here, which has already started to be folded from taking it off, but what we want to do is make sure we're applying pressure underneath. Another reason for me having nails, I suppose. Apply pressure underneath where the gap is and just move it. So it gives you a nice fold. Now we end up with this little bit, which I'll just drop randomly for fun. And then that also gives us this bit here. This is the desk. That's the top of the desk, bottom of the desk. That bit will then fit into the, without the need for clippers. There you go. I haven't tested that, I just said it really hopefully, hoping that that's what would happen. And it is. Amazing. And this bit here sits on there, and that is your workbench, and that looks pretty snazzy.
It does actually.
And it's still pretty solid, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this bit on. What do you think, super glue or PVA?
PVA, super glue, what have you got there?
Super glue is instant. And
you've got it to hand anyway.
I've got it to hand. I don't want it to go everywhere, so I'm going to use.
What were you using yesterday?
See, when I tidy everything away, glue on there. I'm just going to use a little bit of offcut. I'm going to put the glue on that. Hey, see? Bodging it already. I'm just going to put a little bit there. And a little bit there. That should hold that bad boy in place. Yeah, me like. So there'll be 2 of the chairs, 2 of the others. I'll actually get the chair in place as well. Since we're in that mode. How did you find those tokens?
Yeah, they're very nice. You have to be really careful to take them off though, because they are easily ripped, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think that's the laminate on the token.
I think it is, and I'd rather it be like that than not, if you know what I mean, because I think it makes them a bit more sturdier.
You had to use a knife on some, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the only thing. But like I say, I'd rather it be that than them just ripping.
Yeah. So that is the workstation and the chair. So there's 2 of those to finish up. And then the last thing on this sheet is the ground conduit, which consists of 2 of these and 1 of these. And that's that one clear. I'll start with you collection on it. This bad boy has these 2 bits. They're the outer parts. These are the inner parts with nothing on. Well, nothing on the interior anyway. This is the centre part of it, and this curves. So what we have to do with this is we have to bend it. I'm going to bend it around a spherical object. My finger. Cylindrical was the word I was looking for, not spherical. Anyway, it's still early in the morning. What I want to do is try and bend it all at the same, so no one bit really has more bend than the rest. Till we get to about that. So I'll overbend it a little bit so we have an arc like that. Oh, you got your give. And again, you have these little bits of card showing through. You could use a black felt tip on the edges. But if you look at their artwork, I'm pretty sure they've painted it. And they've painted it in the colours that are on here. So there we go. And then we have... Yeah, put it in the wrong way around, why not? We have this bit here, which will fit onto there. And onto that. Nice tension fit on that. The same at the other side. And then on that. I don't think that needs glue, to be fair. And there we go, that's a grain conduit. Done. So there should be 2 of those as well in the starter set. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of those together and we'll come back and look at the next piece of card. Okay, so the next one, we're going to do these cargo crates. So there's a yellowy mustardy gold cargo crate, there is a green cargo crate, and then there's a small red cargo crate. They're all sort of follow the same process. There's also a small green one. I'm going to use the yellow. Use the other one. It was nearest to my hand. We want that bit there. You want this bit here. leave that bit. There. Okay. So with these, what you have is two sides. They need to come off. Two ends. So they should slot together. And then that one on that. And then that one on that. Come on, you know you want to. Okay. So we have our crate, which goes that way up, which means we have a bottom. Which one is the bottom? That one's the lid. So the one's got two sides, that's the bottom part of the lid. The one that's got that printed on is the lid. So that, Sherlock Holmes deduction, is the bottom. And what they say is if you push that in from there, you don't need to glue it. You did glue it, just put it out there. That's kind of how you put together if you don't want to use any glue. He did use some glue to keep that bottom part in. And then, if you don't want to use any glue on this set, you've got your lid. That's your crate. If you do want to use glue, what you can do is glue this bit onto that bit, so you have a little rim around it, and once you put that on there, it stays on when you move it. So I'm just going to glue that to that, and glue this to this. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so what I decided to do, the bottom I've used PVA on, because there was a little bit of a gap. I wanted to use the PVA just to fill that gap a little bit as well. You still see there is a gap, it's fine. For the lid I used super glue because I wanted that to stick straight away. So I can come back and show you that that then sits on there and the lid doesn't then fall off and just be taken off during the game. So I need to leave that to set at the bottom. I need to do all the other crates and then I'll come back. Okay, so all the crates are done. So we now have this wall locker here. So I'm going to take this bit off. That consists of that part. And this part, I think it's only the two parts. Again, you got a little bit of a bend in this. And we have these two bits of MacGuffin to take out. Get rid of. And then we can bend that. And this one. And there we go. And then this and this go into here. And that should bend down. You know you're in the right position when that meets up with the bottom. You might need to push it forward a bit if it doesn't. And there we go, that is the wall locker, and that will go onto a wall. Really good example. I've got a bit of wall section. So that would fit onto one of these and be hung on a wall, which is pretty cool. Might not bother gluing that one in because I might need to reposition it because of the bottom. That's a nice easy one to do. We also have a table, which is this triangular bit here. Apparently this is double-sided. Looks the same really to me. But, oh yeah, so one's got a blue, one's got a yellow. Right, and there are two in this set. So So push that out. This is the bottom part of the table. So again, this needs to be folded, and this one needs a little bit of jiggling apparently. Come from making a triangle. So I need to just pull that away and push it together like that. And the base for the table, and the table will sit on top. So you could leave it like that, but I'm going to glue this on. I'll probably use super glue for this because it seems to be straightforward. If you do use super glue, just always remember you've got like 2 seconds to put it in the right place. Or the PVA glue, which takes a long time to set, but you've got plenty of time to position it. So it's a trade-off really as to which you want to do. Why is all my glue dry up on me? There we go. I'm just going to put that onto the... Obviously the glue wasn't listened to when I said it takes seconds to set. There we go. So that's one table. Like that, and apparently you do it like that so you can flip it. So apparently there's rules that can be used as cover. So you can like flip the table. I suppose you could do it as well if you're losing a game of poker or something. Reveal the table. And bend that one. There we go. And we'll do this one the other way around actually. I got 2 slightly different looking tables. And again, if you want to give yourself more time to line it up, I'd use PVA, especially if you're not in a hurry to actually play the game and get on with it. There we go. Right, what's next? There's not a lot left now. We have a bunk bed, so let's do that. Is that part, this part, and this part. Right, this has a couple little bends in it. Like that. And then we have, I think this goes here. To leave you with this, I think. Let's go back there. Have you got a picture of the bunk bed?
Not for you.
I figure out whether that, because I know this bit will slide in.
There you go.
Yeah, that goes there. In fact, there's a little bit that needs to come out the top of that. Like that. So yeah, this bit will slide in. got a bit of spare paper in there. Get rid of that. This bit I probably will glue on. And that's your bunk bed. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue just to keep that on. Okay, like so. And I believe that hook at the back is hooking onto the wall sections again, so it's right up against the wall. We also have a shop counter. Which appears to be 3 parts. Does it show the wall console in the book? There we go. A bit of persuasion.
Which one?
The one just got a wall console.
No.
What's that?
No, I'm afraid it doesn't. It just shows the shop counter workstation, crate, bunk, chair, locker and conduit.
So I believe the shop counter, where is it in there? That's not the shop counter either. That's a display stand. There's a misprint for you.
Okay.
So the shop counter, I believe, is this bit that goes in there. And then I think you have this bit that goes on there. I'm going to glue that. I'm pretty sure that's right. And then again that will hook onto a wall. Not on this one obviously because we'll be able to get through the door. But that's how it would go onto a wall section. The one that's in the book that says shop counter actually says display stand on here. Which is these 2 parts. Come here. I believe this again that'll hook underneath the wall, and this just consists of 2 bits pushing together. Pretty much just like that. And again it would hook underneath. So that's how it would stand up when you're using it. We have this wall counter. I've actually just seen the other part of it.
Okay.
Is there? It's not in the book though, is it?
No.
Wall console. Wall console. So again this bends. This is wobbly. This looks a little bit like the bunk bed. The fact that it sits in like that. So I'm going to glue into place. So I'll have to be quick. So don't underestimate PVA's final strength after it's glued. Don't feel like you have to use super glue. I'm simply using it for speed, and it will give you plenty more time to get this into the right position. That is glued from the super glue, so that's how quick that is. It just leaves one last thing on this sprue, which is this advert. So this is a double-sided advert. This So you could glue it or not. You don't glue it, then you can always flip it around and use the opposite side. But this is a wanted Z. Oh, Z was dead. And that's everything off of that. And these just basically flick into that to hold it in place. And then again, that would go onto a wall. So that is all the scenery. So I'm going to finish up here, and then do you think we should set it up? See what it like it on mission 1?
Yes.
I think we'll do that. So we'll come back, we'll set it up, and we'll see how long it takes to actually, from having everything built, how long it takes to actually set off a mission. So we'll be back in a moment.